Got the old heater here broiling, trying to cook our leg off, but heating up good old Margaret. We got some parts to put in her today. The ignition system is really, yeah, we've never done anything to the ignition system, and she's fouling out, which is not good. Dropping a couple cylinders, maybe running on, I don't know, 4, 5. See if we can remedy that. This first plug out, it's pretty well carbon fouled up. Yeah. But also, it's a Champion. Now, what do you guys have thoughts on that? I got myself an auto light here. A part of the problem, she's grumpy because she's running a Chevy spark plug in a Ford. Electra is just a little bit taller on the Ford. Let's hope that isn't going to give us problems. 1 down, 7 more to go. Gotta move this heater away from my butt. Getting toasty. So I wrangled the new set of points in there, a new condenser. Put over until she's on a high spot on the cam here, and then we're going to set our feeler blade in between the point contacts and adjust it. So right about there, I think we want our 15. And I bump it over, you should see it opening and closing the spark there. It took us like 3 hours. The cold really makes me slow down. But we got a whole new ignition system on good old Margaret. We have new points, new condenser, new wires, new coil, new plugs. Everything should be top notch. Hopefully we could get in there and let her warm up and adjust the float height in the carburetor. Last time we were running her, she couldn't get her to run long enough to even adjust the float height. It was just dying out, running on a couple cylinders. I think she's upset because I introduced her to this old girl right here. I don't know if you've ever went somewhere and ran into an ex-girlfriend with your new girlfriend or your wife. It doesn't bother anybody, but kind of makes people grumpy. I don't know why. She is grumpy. So one problem, our coil wire here is too short in the new version, so we had to use the old one. We'll have to get a new coil wire made up. Hopefully this will work. Well, this is pretty cool. It started hailing on me. We're trying to diagnose this coil wire, and I think the new coil that we put on there that we got, believe it or not, on the discount rack is complete garbage. We'll see. We're swapping back to the old one, and it's hailing on me currently. I would give up if I didn't want to know if this thing's broken or not. Alright, here we go. Hey, Chuck! Take this brass screw out here, take this guy loose and adjust this float until the fuel is just coming out there. Here's our float, so the more you unscrew it, the more will go in the bowl. Alright, she's not pouring out of there yet. Let's turn it off and come up 2 flats. 1, 2, 2 foot. Maybe down 1 flat. The float height all remedied up. This is the nut we were adjusting before. That new fuel pump was just, the flow was high, it was set too high, and it was just gushing over into the machine here. Little Margaret's over here trying to give her younger sister a nice solid headbutt. Got them pretty well lined up. Margaret and her younger sister right next to each other. That air blow off scared me a little. So backer cab. Then our crane. I realized when we were moving around, the ceiling's leaking somewhere on top. So we got some water drips, and our window fell back down again. We're gonna have to get after that. Anyways, I had to shut her down so we get the good side-by-side comparison here. She sits quite a bit taller. If I had to guess, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches easy taller. And she's actually on an incline, so it might be more. So you got kind of the vantage point here. You can see the cab where the extension starts in reference to the regular cab. And then the side of our crane, our trays there, we're going to have to clear the extension or do something different here. So the crane's going to have to come back further and be just to the back side of this. A little bit better view. So you can see we're inside the window now. So we're going to have to go back quite a bit to clear those hose trays. So those hose trays will have to be behind this extension if we keep it. Just gonna put this whole crane back. They're just eyeballing here. Roughly this much, 2 foot ish, 30 inches. So to do that, our crane body will be back here. So this frame has all these extras on it. We need to get these off of here. We don't need these. They're in the way. We're going to wait to take this one off because it's actually what's holding the dry shaft in, this PTO half. But these other extra bracketry and things, need to lance those off of there. So good old Margaret, what we're going to do is we're going to bring the wheelbase up to quite a bit here, right in this region, if not further, with the front axle. So the end of the frame would be somewhere around in there. I can follow the same concept here, but we got to figure out how to accommodate the hood extension. I got tons of ideas for that. Someone mentioned we should make it a crew cab. That would be cool. Not going to happen on this one, because the inside of the cab here is here to clear the engine. So, I mean, I'm not saying you couldn't do it, but you'd be kind of weird. Unless you move the engine completely, you'd have to take this step out if you wanted the cab to be down where the foot wells are on the main cab, back this way. So that's probably not going to happen. I mean, it would be really cool. I don't know if I've seen it. Somebody's probably done it, where you had a crew cab over, where you had a door just like this that's set mirrored here, where you had like a suicide door. That would be really cool. Obviously the whole cab would have to be connected, the engine had to be moved. We're not getting that crazy, but it's a cool idea. Appreciate that. Yeah, back to this. What are we gonna do here? I thought this frame was rust jacked when I first looked at it, but I was wrong. This frame is actually tapered, which I didn't know, and I think Margaret's is too. It tapers up in the back. So it goes double from here up, and then from here back it's single, but it tapers up, which I didn't know Margaret did that. Margaret's got the farmer special with this big huge outer frame slipped over it, and it has the tandems on it, and the inside's all somewhere in there. So that's the 30,000 foot view. We got the side-by-side comparison of Margaret and her younger sister here. What we really didn't want to do is spend the whole day working on Margaret to get her going, but she needed that ignition. She needed that carburetor fuel bowl adjusted. It was just fouling out those plugs. So that tune-up kit helped majorly. And now she's going to be more of a runner instead of a bummer, if you know what I mean, because you don't want to work on it every time you have to move her. I hope I hope everything's in line. Forget that stupid new ignition coil. That thing's junk. That gave us a little bit of a headache. Some of my favorite YouTube channels, Brent from Half-Ass Customs and Carl from Make It Custom, they made the commentary, you just got to do it. And we can't spend all this time thinking about the best way and the perfect way. We're just going to do it. So the next step, we're going to start cutting off all those extra features on the frame, and we might just take that axle out of there. I don't know. We just got to get in there and we got to make stuff happen without overthinking all the finite details, because that really just paralyzes progress. Thanks for watching, everybody.